equations by multiplying and dividing. Now, just like the last lesson where you go ahead and you solve equations that by adding and subtracting, you've got to remember that key concept. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side as well. So as an example here, we've got the solving equations by dividing. So 7 times x, remember that's what that means, is equal to 49. So we've got to get rid of that 7 right there. So it's just x all by itself on one side of the equation, just 1x. So here, what are we going to do? We're going to divide both sides by 7. Both sides by 7. And when we do that, we got 7 divided by 7. That's just going to be 1. You don't need to put the 1 in front of the x because it's assumed that it's 1. 1 times the x. And then you've got 49 divided by 7, which is just going to be equal to 7. Now over here, same sort of idea. 13 times e is equal to negative 52. Divide both sides by 13. And you can do it the division way, or you can do it the fraction way, whichever you want to do. But it's just really important to remember you've got to go ahead and do it to both sides of the equation. So 13 divided by 13, that's just going to be 1 again. So it's just e. Now we got negative 52 divided by 13. Well, negative 52 divided by 13 is going to give us a negative number. And then we just do 15 divided by 13, and that's going to be 4. Now, solving equations by multiplying, same exact concept here. You've got d divided by 5 is equal to 10. So what are we going to do? We're going to do the opposite operation. And sometimes it's called the inverse operation. So d divided by 5 times 5 is just going to be d. It's just going to be 1d. 10 times 5 is just going to be, what's 10 times 5? It's just going to be 50. And again, we should check all these answers and make sure that they make sense. And we'll do that at the end. So k divided by negative 3 is equal to 30. What's k? What we need to do, we need to multiply both sides by negative 3. Multiply both sides by negative 3. So here we got k divided by negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. So that's just going to be k. That's going to be equal to 30 times negative 3. And that's just going to be, well, you got a negative sign because there's one negative. So it's just 3 times 30, which is 90. Let's go back and quickly check these answers. 7, does that make sense? 7 times 7 is equal to 49. Yep, so we got that right. 13, does it make sense that 13 times negative 4 would equal 52? Would equal negative 52, excuse me. Yep, because there's a negative sign, it's just 4 times 13. Here again, does it make sense that 50 divided by 5 is equal to 10? Yep, you've known that for a long time. And now we've got just this last one. It makes sense that negative 90 divided by 3 is equal to 30. Divided by negative 3 is equal to 30. Yep. That makes perfect sense. So now here's a problem to use and where we have to figure out how to use this and set it up as an equation. How long will it take to go 360 miles in a car if it's being driven 60 miles per hour? So we're trying to understand this problem. First of all, we know that we need to go 360 miles. We know we're going 60 miles per hour. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to figure out how long it will take. So the thing we're trying to figure out, that's going to be our variable. And so I'm just going to assign let the number of hours equal t. This is just for time. So now I just write this out as it says here. 360 miles per hour, or 360 miles, is how far I'm going. That's equal to how long will it take if I'm driving 60 miles per hour? Well, 60 is the amount miles per hour, and then I'm just trying to figure out what that value is for t. And I do the exact same thing I did before. Divide by 60 on this side, divide by 60 on this side. And what do I end up with? I end up with, over here I'm just going to write it down, 360 divided by 60 is equal to, well, 60 times t divided by 60, that's just going to be t. So 360 divided by 60, that's just going to be 6. Plug it back in to see if that makes sense. Well, does that logically make sense that that would take 6 hours to travel that far? Yeah, it does. And now we just plug it into this equation if we got it right. So we just say, well, 360, is that equal to 60 times 6? You bet. And that's great.